Hello and welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be fun to take a trip down memory lane and visit the Living Dead dolls that were retail exclusives to certain stores. Now, as you know, the Living Dead dolls, when they first hit the store shelves, it wasn't in stores nationwide. They were really confined to specialty stores, predominantly that were in the malls, such as Hot Topic, Spencer's, and stores like that. So today I'm going to go through a couple of series of videos focusing on the retail exclusives to those stores. So the first store I'm going to focus on are Spencer's Gifts, which are still around in malls across America. So the first doll I'm going to talk about is this cutie pie here named Cookie. Now, as you can tell, she's based on a Girl Scout, a very killer Girl Scout. She was released in September of 2003. She retailed for about $27.99. They made about 3,996 dolls of her. So she's not hard to find. You can find her very easily on the secondary market. She came with a poisonous box of Girl Scout cookies. This is really cool. There's nothing inside, it's empty, but if you want to see up close to the details, just really cool. Okay. And the doll herself, now she's like many of the early Living Dead dolls in that she has no articulation, but she is just adorable. I actually bought her at a Comic-Con in New York several years ago. Actually was the first time I met Damien at that particular Comic-Con, so she's a very special doll to me. Now, she's very simple. She has this romper dress, red and black. It's all one piece. The sash is a separate piece from the dress. And here has the famous sulfur symbol of Living Dead dolls, and of course 666. And she has this adorable little hat, which initially when she comes out of the coffin, she has like a clear plastic tie holding it in place. Now, if you get her and it doesn't have that or it disintegrates, that's completely normal. That's the age of the dolls. She is over 20 years old. And like I said, not much articulation. She's very cute. Now, her death date is December 2nd, 1917. Not sure what it has anything to do with the Girl Scouts, but the year 1917 is when the Girl Scouts were established, but they were established in March, not December, so I'm not sure what December 2nd relates to. Sometimes the death dates are not perfect, but 1917 is when the Girl Scouts were established. So that is Cookie. Before I go to the next set, I want to show you Cookie's chipboard. I'm going to pause and read it. And here on the bottom, it says exclusive to Spencer Gifts. Okay, and now that's it for Cookie. Okay. The next exclusive to Spencer's is this duo set of American Gothic. This is one of the very earliest Presents dolls. So if you go to mezco.com and look under archive, this set is not listed under exclusives. They're listed under Presents. And once again, they're based on established characters and properties, so that's why they're considered Presents. They do have a chipboard, like Nosferatu, which was another Presents that I did a video earlier this year. And it's the first Living Dead doll product that has no poem on the chipboard. The next time this happens is with Series 30, which is the Sideshow doll series, but they have no poem. But here you see it says Presents, and it also says Spencer's exclusive. Okay. Now they are based on the famous painting by, I want to say, Grant Wood was the artist, and it does a great job recreating their clothing. Here's a picture for comparison, especially with the dress for the female character in the painting. I'll look up close. One of a very sneaky little design for this set is the little pendant that she has on her collar. Here, if you see a little closer, it's a devil under her collar. Not sure what it is on the painting, but I can assure you it is not a devil. And like Cookie, she has no articulations, very hard to pose them. You have to kind of lean her back a little bit in order for her to stand. Okay. And she is portrayed older in this set than the painting. In the painting, in case you didn't know, it's not a husband and a wife. It's actually a father and his daughter. So with this set, it makes it seem like they're a married couple, not a father and daughter. So I just thought that was an interesting choice. Her hair is in this bun. Real cool detail on the face. I really, really love this doll set. Okay. And then, hold on. I'm just going to try to balance her again. And then you have the farmer character. Up close, he comes with these wire glasses. This is the first for Living Dead dolls. The second doll to have the wire glasses is the Big Bad Wolf, part of the Scary Tales. He comes with this pitchfork, which is supposed to go in his cupped hand. But as many of the Living Dead dolls that have cupped hands with accessories, they're very hard to put in. And sometimes you end up like getting the paint off the object onto the doll or end up breaking the arm. So these are very old, and I just let it kind of lean on him with the plastic ties that it came with in the coffin. As you can see, it actually came undone. They disintegrated. But again, it's just a great doll set. They had a variant set. Here's a picture of the variant set. Wasn't interested in it. I personally don't own it. They retailed for $60, and the variant set, curiously, was retailed for $45. Also sold through Spencer's. And they came with a really great death certificate. Now, it doesn't have a year. I'm sorry, it doesn't have a date, because again, it's presents. So all it has is the year that the painting came out. As you can see, it's 1930, and it's really clever because it's framed like the painting. If you want to press pause and read that. Really cool set. Highly recommend it. And that is the American Gothic set. Now, this duo I did talk about in another video under Dolls for Valentine's Day, and that is the Romeo and Juliet set. I'm not going to go into too many details. I did talk about them extensively on that video, but they were released in 2006 for $52. Romeo is modeled after Sid Vicious, lead singer of the Sex Pistols. Coincidentally, the death date of Romeo is the same as the day Sid Vicious passed away too, which was in I'm not sure what the date was, but they shared the same exact date. Usually the death dates coincide with the birth date of the person that they are paying homage to, but in this case, it actually is the same death date. Okay, and Juliet shares the same death date, but it's a tribute to him. So he has his really cool outfit, little metal chain, shirt says "Love Kills," and their modern take on Romeo and Juliet. So he Comes with a bottle of poison. His hair is a little flocked. Okay, and she comes with a knife or a dagger, which coincides with how they kill themselves in the show. Now, Romeo looked a lot different in the prototype pictures. His hair was a lot more voluminous. Here's a picture of that. I prefer this hair, this length. I think it's perfect. It doesn't need to be that much. That's Juliet. Her face actually reminds me of another doll that came out maybe a couple years later of Series 9. Her name is Mildred. Very, very similar to Mildred in the face. And again, they don't have articulation. Well, their heads move. My Romeo, his head is very loose. I'm not sure if that's just mine. I did buy them opened. I didn't buy them sealed. Oop. Sorry, looks like Romeo tried to die again. But anyway. And if you want to look at their chipboard, this is what their chipboard looks like. I'm going to pause. And again, it says Spencer Gifts exclusive. And that is Romeo and Juliet. Now, the final doll set is considered the most popular of the Spencer Gifts exclusives, and that's Sinister Minister and Bad Habit. They were the only retailer to receive two sets, one right after the other, due to public demand. American Gothic, which came out after this set, there was a gap with the variants, the release of the variants from the original set, whereas here, because of extreme popular demand, another set was soon released, maybe like a month later. So the original set that first came out in Spencer's was this set, the traditional look of a priest and a nun. Okay, they retailed for about $60. I was able to get these two opened for pretty much retail all the way from Puerto Rico. I tell you, Living Dead Dolls has a far wide reach. And they came with an incense burner. And the nun came with rosary beads. Now, all three sets come with the same exact accessories. There's nothing different in terms of the accessories, what they came with. Okay, their chipboard is even identical except for one of the exclusives. So here's the chipboard. I'm going to pause and read that. And again, Spencer's Gifts. They made... Now, this is the breakdown. So with the first set, they made 3,996 sets. So this is the original one. On his hands, he has love and he has hate on his hands. His hair is very gelled. Okay, and he has separate piece of the jacket and the shirt and the pants. I believe this is yes, it is attached to his jacket. The I don't remember. I used to be a Catholic schoolgirl, so I don't remember what this is called, but this is pinned to him. As for the nun, she comes in the traditional habit. She's bald underneath, so if you take off her habit hat, I'm sorry, I'm not good with terminology with religious attire. She's bald. She's actually the first bald female doll for Living Dead Dolls. And like I said, they were so popular that they received a second set. And the second set, we'll just push these back a bit. Whoop. sorry, they do not stand well, is this white set. Okay, and again, the white set, very similar to the original set, except they're in white, and she has a sulfur symbol on her collar here, and they do have the very controversial upside down cross, but it's not as noticeable as it is on his collar. But again, it's very small. Of course, very, very evil, very bad priest. Definitely wouldn't be telling him any confessions. And unlike the original priest, he actually has a gown instead of the pants. And I think it's because it's not the traditional, a priest wouldn't wear these colors. So it's a gown. These buttons are stitched, and this whole thing is stitched. You can't open it. And this also is pinned to him. It has sulfur symbols. And again, it says love and hate on his hands. And she also pretty much has the same habit, just in different colors. Okay, and again, they come with the same accessories. Okay, so that's the white set. And they also had 3,996 sets. So again, they're not ridiculously expensive on the secondary market. These two, this set might be a little bit more because it's a variant set. It's different than the original set, so they might run you a little bit more than this set, but not ridiculous. And you could definitely shop around, because again, there's a lot of sets. It's just they sold out real quick and they made the same amount. Now the biggest difference is these two, and these were actually released overseas. These were released in hold on. They were released in Hong Kong, actually, and that was the only way you can get it overseas. So unlike the other two sets, their hands said something completely different. They actually say the name of the retailer in Hong Kong, which is Toy R2 Toys. Okay, same thing with this one, Toy R2 retailer right here. There's another doll that was also a Hong Kong release named Hong Kong Penny. And here's a picture of her. I'll be talking about her in another video. But again, same deal. A gown for the priest, but this time he has horns. Okay, he's definitely not holy. Oops, sorry about that. And again, the incense burner and rosary beads. Now, the difference with these two versus the four of them is that their chipboard actually says the retailer. It doesn't say Spencer's because it was released in Hong Kong. It says Toy R2, and they came numbered. So there were 999 sets. So this set will run you much more than the other two because they had a limited run, a low production run, and the number out of this number dictates the value. I never really pay attention to that. I forgot off the top of my head the number I have. Here's a picture when I first bought them. They came to me sealed, and it's a really cool set. Interesting thing is that like I said, they were released like back to back for the demand, and the whole written on the hands thing was based on an actual person. His name, hold on. It was based on someone by the name of Harry Powers. I'm not sure who he was. I didn't really dig into too much about him, but it was based on him, and he apparently wrote love, hate on his hands. I'm not sure if it was a good thing, bad thing. And that's about it with the Spencer's exclusives. So I hope you enjoyed this video, a trip down memory lane, and stay tuned. I'll be doing the other retail exclusives that Living Dead Dolls have with partners like Hot Topic and Tower Records, and of course Club Mez. And like I said, do your research. You can get these dolls for a good price. Again, you can shop around. There is a lot of sets, especially of these first two sets. These, they might run you maybe $200. I didn't pay that much for them. I think I paid like $150. I actually got these two together. A seller gave me a really good deal for both of them, but one was open, but these were sealed. So anyway, as always, happy hunting.